Hey guys, it's Brandon Miniman from PocketNow.com. The Samsung Galaxy Nexus ships with a new version of Android and with it a new web browser. How fast is it? In this video we're going to talk about the new functionality, then we're going to compare it to the Samsung Galaxy S2 and the iPhone 4S. Let's get to it. Okay, so let's jump into the browser of Ice Cream Sandwich. There are a lot of really cool improvements that deal with tab management and full screen viewing and a lot of other things. And of course, we're going to talk about speed, since speed is very important in a mobile browser. So let's jump into the browser here, and we default to the home page here. We've got an address bar up here, tab management over here. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. And going with the new paradigm in Android 4.0, when there are more options to see, there are the three dots that show you that there is a menu. But first, let's go to a web page. So what we're going to go into the tab view here, and then we're going to go into PocketNow's mobile site. Very quick loading. We can't really pinch to zoom here because it's not the desktop version. Let's load the desktop version, certainly more graphic intense. As it loads, I'm going to flick down the page, see if we get any checkerboards. And we don't. It's very clear, and everything is loading and caching very quickly. Let's zoom in. Slight delay there, but very good. One of the ways that this device shines, the Galaxy Nexus, is in the high resolution 1280 down by 720 across display, which means you just get to see a ton of data on the screen. And it might be hard to see on video, but I can actually make out what it says here in the completely zoomed out view. So you really get that desktop-like browsing experience. Let's see how screen rotation speed is. There we go. Then we can flick down the page. We can go in on a link. We can tap on a link. See how fast that comes up. Pretty fast. We're over pretty fast Wi-Fi network here, and everything works and everything looks good. Now let's go back into Portrait. Let's go into that tab manager because it's pretty cool how it works. So here it is. Let's open up a new tab. The beauty is when you get multiple tabs open, what happens then? So we're going to go back to the bookmarks. Let's open Engadget. And as you can see, it's not slowing down at all. And now we have two tabs open. Let's go to another site. We'll go to Gizmodo. We'll go back into the tab manager. Now we have, it actually didn't open up a new tab there, so we'll go over there and open up a new tab. We'll go to Gizmodo again, back to tab view. Now here's something cool. When you're done with a tab, you have two choices to get them off of the screen. You can hit the little X, or you can swipe, and that's really cool because you can really quickly close all tabs. Unfortunately, there's no button up here to close all tabs, even if you go up here to the menu option. They should have added that. Seems like a very simple thing to do. Now here's a really cool setting. If we go into the settings and we go into labs, there's something called quick controls, and if you've used Honeycomb, you've seen this before. So what it will actually do is hide the address bar, give you full screen browsing. Now the way that you need to bring back the address bar is with a swipe from the right or a swipe from the left, and you get these quick controls. And let me just open up some new tabs to show you sort of how cool this can get once you have a bunch of tabs open. So we'll go into the tab view, we'll open up The Verge. And so now you get this really fast way to switch between tabs with this quick control access. And again, I'm going to open a couple more tabs just so you can really get the full effect on how cool this works. So we're going to go plus, we're going to go back into tab view, hit plus again. Okay, so now we have four tabs open. And if I go over here, let's go back there. If I go over here and move my finger up, I can see all of my tabs, and I can actually flick between them just with my thumb. Super fast way to move between tabs while you're browsing the web. In addition to the tab interface here, you can also go to the URL bar by swiping into the center there, or go to the menu options by going to the three dots as you've come to expect. So really cool web browser here in Android Ice Cream Sandwich. It's a lot faster than we got in previous versions of Android. The pinch to zoom is buttery smooth. The tab management is very slick. And it's really cool to get this full screen browsing. You can actually even remove the top bar. You might have seen that in the settings when we were over in the lab setting. We can go totally full screen. We can even remove the top bar in Android and just have a full screen browsing experience that is really, really nice and really shines with this high resolution display. So how fast is this browser? Well, let's compare it to the Samsung Galaxy S2 and the iPhone 4S. Okay, so here we are. We're actually running Opera Mobile here on the Samsung Galaxy S2. The stock browser isn't as fast. We're trying to get the best representation of the speed of the web browsing on all of these devices. So we're going to try to hit up Engadget at the exact same time here. We might actually Have a little trouble doing that since they are all in different places, but we'll try it. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3. That was pretty good except for the Galaxy S2. So we'll let it load. We're actually going to the desktop version over here. So let's go to the desktop version on the iPhone 4S and on the Galaxy Nexus. Not terms, but desktop. There we go. All right, and right away you can see that the higher resolution screen on the Galaxy Nexus is letting us see more of the website actually right here. So let's flick down the page. A little bit more motion here on the Galaxy Nexus, but very smooth on the iPhone 4S and also on the Galaxy S2. Let's do some speed tests here. Let's zoom in to a particular story. Let's go to the top story here. Zoom in over here. All right, so we're going to tap on these 3 headlines. Let's make a bigger click target here on each. And we're going to tap, ready, set, go. They're off at the exact same time. Let's see which gets there faster. Okay, the Galaxy Nexus, followed by the iPhone 4S, and the Galaxy S2 is coming in last here. Let's flick down the page, see how the page looks. Again, once the pages are rendered, everything is buttery smooth on all of these devices. It's just a matter of how fast they actually get to the particular page in question. Let's zoom back in, and we're going to go over to this Hubs button. Let's get a big click target here so we can get it all at the same time. And let's try that. And they're off at the exact same time. And they all finished pretty much at the same time there. Again, let's click onto this big button here, the Evo 4G. And the Galaxy Nexus finished first, followed by the iPhone 4S, and the Galaxy S2 is struggling a little bit there. It seems to be loading. There it is, a little bit behind the Galaxy S2. It's interesting to see the Galaxy S2 is actually lagging behind the 4S and the Galaxy Nexus here, because for so long it's been the fastest device in terms of web browsing speed that we've tested here. And as a final test, we went to youtube.com to see how these devices handle video differently. So we're going to go click on the same story here on all 3 of these devices and just see perhaps how long they take to render the video and bring it up. Certainly all of them have their own dedicated YouTube player, and that is where they will play in instead of doing it in the browser itself in most cases. So let's try to play these videos at the same time. Okay, iPhone 4S was first, followed by the Galaxy Nexus, followed by the Galaxy S2 back there. This actually didn't play, it just sort of stopped, but it was actually just loading. Let's go back, back, and back. It's interesting how the back buttons are always in different places. So back. Okay, we'll hit back. We'll go on to another video and see that in action again. Let's do this second video in the listing here. Again, we get the same presentation, very similar. This is YouTube's mobile site. It's going to kick off the mobile browser. Enable plugins, Safari settings. So an incompatibility there. So here we've got the Galaxy Nexus and the Galaxy S2. Trying to load the same video. Something must have happened here with the Galaxy Nexus. It just doesn't play automatically. So out of these 3 devices, the fastest phone in browsing the web is definitely the Galaxy Nexus. It's faster than the iPhone 4S, it's faster than the Galaxy S2, and it should be because it's Google's latest and greatest Android flagship premier phone for the next year. So very high marks with web browsing. We really like the way that the Galaxy Nexus handles tabbed management. I can flick tabs off the screen, how you can use the Labs feature where the browser bar is hidden and you can actually access it with a swipe from the right or the left. That is really cool. It's fast, it renders well, the high resolution screen really brings the web to life. 5 stars, high marks for the web browser on the Galaxy Nexus and for Ice Cream Sandwich in general. We're going to see the same experience come out on other devices when we get Ice Cream Sandwich on newer phones with fast processors and beautiful, gorgeous screens. So if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, and if you want to see a rundown of all of the highlights of Ice Cream Sandwich on the Galaxy Nexus, Joe made a really great video. We'll put the link up here so you can click back to that and check it out. We'll have the full review soon on PocketNow.com, so keep an eye out for that, and thanks for watching.